Hello darling, and welcome back to my channel. Of course it is your girl Ariel Michelle, and I am back with another video. And today's gonna be like a cute little story time, just talking about why I stopped baking cakes. Okay y'all, so it was around 2020. I know, the whole pandemic-y, you know, all of that type of stuff, the pandemic. So pretty much everything was shut down, or at least my job was shut down for a couple of months. So I picked up some hobbies like everyone did, and picked up some weight like some people did. If you didn't, good for you. But yeah, so anyway, one of my hobbies I picked up was baking cakes. And I was like, okay, you know, just doing a little dibble dabble, and just having a little fun with it. And I honestly really did like it, and I started posting on my personal Facebook account. And y'all, all of a sudden, all the family members was like, girl, you be selling, your cakes look so good. You need to be selling them. Like, you need to be selling cakes. And I was like, sure, you know, let's just see what I could do. And honestly, y'all, I started selling, like, first it was like real simple. I was like, okay, y'all, if I started like doing cake slices, like who would support? And I had some people that was like, okay, yeah, I'll support you and stuff. So I was baking cakes, y'all, and I was selling cake slices. I really didn't get into the whole like decorating and making it like real bougie and fancy, but I was like a good something sweet type of gal. So I did like a lot of cake slices. I did birthday cakes. What is that? That is some little artwork, but it wasn't like real like fancy. Like it wasn't like that. But I wanted to get more into the whole fondant and all that type of stuff. So that's the backstory. Like I said, it was a hobby, and then people were like, oh, you know, it's like so good, like start selling it. So pretty much I did do me a little something on the side, something. And I was selling cake slices. I was having cake slices like every Friday. So I would do all the prep work, and then Friday I was, you know, delivering cakes, dropping off cakes, people picking up cakes. Honey, it was cake all over the place. It was cake. But anyway, that's the backstory. Now let's get into why I stopped baking. So one reason why I really stopped baking, y'all, and the thing was, it was fun. It was a cute hobby, like when my job had shut down. But then once my job reopened, people were still wanting cake slices. So I still, you know, I kept doing it. But y'all, number one reason was it was time consuming. Like when you're trying to work a full-time job, be a wifey, and then have like an outside life, hang out with your friends, family, and all that type of stuff, and then baking cakes, y'all, it was so time consuming. Like, okay, so example, I would have the cake sale like Friday. So what I would do is the Saturday prior, I would get all my ingredients the Saturday prior. Monday and Tuesday were my baking days. So I would bake the cake Monday and Tuesday. Wednesday and Thursday, that's when I did my crumb coat, my icing, all of that type of stuff. And then Friday, I would actually start slicing it because the cake was nice and it was cold and it was ready to be sliced, you know, because you have to ice a cake when it is cold. You never ice a cake when it's hot. Y'all already know. If y'all watched my what I ordered versus what I got video, y'all know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, go watch that. Come back. Okay. Oh yeah. But anyway, I would do that, and y'all, I would have so many. I'm gonna be putting videos and pictures and stuff. Y'all, the refrigerator would be full of cake. Like it would be full of cake. So y'all, it was so time consuming. I did enjoy it, but it was time consuming. And then y'all, people be like placing orders at the last minute and stuff. I'm just like, look, in my mind, I'm like, mentally, I'm gonna make 3 strawberry cakes, 3 T'Challa cakes, because I call my husband T'Challa because he's so chocolatey and boring. But I love that man. But anyway, I would make like 2 of those cakes. So, you know, I had like different ones, and I knew how many slices one cake would make. So people were still putting in orders, and I'm just like, y'all, it is Thursday. I can't take no more orders, and people was getting mad at me. But anyway, the number one reason was it was time consuming. It took a whole bunch of time. Like that was cute when I was out of work and wasn't working as much. But y'all, when I started back working and working full time, I was just like, hold on, this is a lot to be doing. Too much. Okay. So another reason why I stopped baking was it was too much pressure. Like, maybe if I could like kept doing it longer and getting more used to it, into the hang of things, and like it wouldn't have been so much pressure. But y'all, it was so much pressure because I'm like, I gotta get all these cakes done. I gotta make sure all of them cool. I gotta make sure, you know, the kitchen is nice and clean. Like, I keep everything clean, trust me. Especially when I'm cooking for other people, I make sure everything is clean. So when I cook for myself, everything is clean. But when I cook for other people, I make sure it's like clean on top of clean. So maybe it's just a Capricorn in me, but I was putting so much pressure on myself with these cakes. I wanted to make sure everything was good, everything was right. And like, you know, so with certain cake flavors, there were times like I would make a cake and it's like, oh, I left it in the oven a little bit too long. With me, I'm not going to try to sell that cake. So I'm like, scratch it, get rid of it, or I'll take it to my job and like let them just eat off it or whatever. But it was a lot of pressure because I just wanted to make sure I was doing everything right. I wanted to make sure the customer was satisfied and making sure like the consistency of your icing is together. Because y'all, sometimes even if you are a baker or a cook, you know, just let me know. Let me know in the comment section how many times you have made a recipe, right? And like you followed the recipe, but then sometimes it's just like the consistency of whatever you made or cooked, the flavor of it is different. Like I had my own recipe that I made for my frosting and it was on point like not every time, but it was on point. But I would notice like each time I made it, it would be like a different consistency. Like it would be a little bit thicker or a little bit looser, so I had to add something else. But it's like, the formula was correct, but I just know sometimes the consistency was just always just a little different. So I had to kind of play with it a little bit, and that would put like a little pressure on me because you gotta make sure your frosting is right because you don't want nothing too loose or too thick because that can tear your cake up or just mess your cake up. So I got it all together by Friday, but it's just like, Lord, child. I felt so much pressure on me. And then people be, like I said, ordering cakes at the last minute. And that was probably something that was on me. I should have been like, look, do a cutoff. Like, look, this is what I have, and this is what's gone. If you missed out, then baby, you missed out. Come back next Friday, boo. Come back. But yeah, like I said, it was pressure. Another reason why I stopped baking cakes, y'all, it was so hard to find a balance. Like I said, I was working full time and I was baking the cakes and I was still, you know, being a wifey, and I was still like just, you know, regular life stuff. So for me, it was really hard to find a balance. And like I said, I feel like that's something that I should have, you know, just put my little boundaries up, because I was checking my phone and y'all, I was getting so many just DMs and text messages like, hey, I want a birthday cake. Hey, da 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 da. And sometimes y'all, like some of these customers, and we just gonna loop this in this way. Some of y'all customers, we appreciate any small business owner, whoever, you know, we appreciate the customers. We do appreciate y'all because, you know, you're helping support the business, you're helping support the dream. So we appreciate y'all. But sometimes y'all be doing too much. Baby, y'all be doing way too much. Like I remember I had someone text me and was like, hey, how much does it cost for like this cake right here? And I'm like, okay, for this cake, it costs da 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 da. And then she's like, okay, I need that. And I'm like, okay, so you know, you put your little deposit down. I can have it ready for you. Like if it was Wednesday, I can have it ready for you by Friday. She's like, no, I need it tonight. And I'm like, do I look like Walmart? I said to myself, not to her, but to myself. I'm like, do I look like Walmart? Like, do y'all, sometimes I feel like with customers, they really think you're just sitting there on your phone, waiting for a reply, waiting for all the cake orders to come in, and you just go into your Barbie, what's that oven? Y'all remember that oven from back in the day? What was it? Was it Easy Bake? Y'all think I'm just going in the kitchen, popping my little Easy Bake oven, and just like, poof, there's your cake. Like right there, poof, there's your cake. Like, no, I have a job, and I've let people know that, you know, like this is more something I'm doing like on the side, like for fun and all that. And some people were really just coming in like, I need a cake now. And I'm like, so it was hard trying to find a balance. I found myself like working, then getting off work, stopping to Walmart or going to BJ's, getting like the big bag of flour and all that type of stuff, the big bag of powdered sugar and butter and like all of that, to just like start doing cakes like that night on top of doing my cake slices that I did every Friday. So yes, that was a lot of pressure, and it was hard to find the balance. Now the next thing is, I will say this, as great as it was to have the support, I'm gonna say it, some of y'all don't want to pay. Not everybody, because people did. When I told them a price, they understood and they paid for it. But some people will be like, how much for, like, you know, I want a homemade strawberry cake, you know, with strawberries in the middle. I want like a whipped cream frosting in the middle. And then like, I want like a buttercream on the outside, and give me some pearls, and this is this and that. I'm like, okay, so, you know, for that much, I'll charge like $80. And they're like, I got 35. I'm like, well, if you, for 35, I'm like, you can get maybe like 4, or, you know, however the math is on Friday for the cake slices, because cake slices was $4.50 a slice. So I'm like, you know, you can take your $35 and then come on the cake slices and just get you some cake slices. Because I was just like, for these custom orders, they will want so much, like, different type of fillings, different everything. I didn't mind doing it because I was excited. But it's like, okay, y'all, it's literally costing $20 to sometimes $55 just to get the stuff that's needed for the cake. I'm not Walmart. I don't have a giant factory in the back of the house somewhere that has like this magical poof of flour and poof of, you know, like just everything on hand. Like, I had stuff on hand, but like when people want like something like a German chocolate cake, or I had like a tres leches type of cake, and then I had something else. I had like a lot of different stuff, but it was just like, y'all, some stuff I don't have on hand, so I have to go get it. But even then, still, if I break down the price of stuff, it's like, it's still costing $20 to like $55 for your cake, depending on how bougie you want, how much frosting you want, how many layers you want. I had somebody talking about they wanted like 4 layer, like a 3-tier cake. Y'all, I had somebody, they wanted a 3-tier cake, different flavors, different icings, and then not including the design, y'all. $120. $120. Where they do that at? Where do they do that at? Like, maybe if you go to BJ's, or maybe if you're going to Walmart, like I said, if you're going places like that, maybe. But when you're coming to someone that's doing stuff from home, or even not doing stuff from home, like even if you go to like an actual like baker factory, baker shop, cake shop, wherever, if you go to them and tell them that, like, no one's gonna really tell you $120 for a 3-tier cake with all different flavors, different icings, and we're using fondant too, y'all. We're using fondant too, and you want designs and stuff for $120? Like, no, because no, like a cake like that, you probably gonna spend about $300 and some change for 3-tier. And I'm gonna show y'all like a inspiration picture that of what they wanted. And at that point, I'm like, look, I'm still kind of growing too, but I was just like, for that much stuff that you want, I'm like, that's easily, in my mind, I'm like, that's easily $250, $300, easily. So that was one thing. The customers was really being extra, and people would pay for cakes, but they did not. It's like, oh, y'all, that's why I had to implement like a cute little policy as well. Like, put something down, because people would have, like, people would be like, hey, I want to get a strawberry cake from you. I'm like, oh, okay. It'd be like, you know, $35. Because like, it was just a plain strawberry frosting, you know, some fresh berries and stuff. I'm like, that'd be $35. And she's like, oh, okay. Y'all, I would make the cake. And Friday was my day to drop off everything. do you know this heifer said, oh no, I don't want it no more. And I was like, you don't want it no more? She was like, yeah, I don't want it no more. And I was like, I made you a cake. I made the cake already. Now, like I said, some of this stuff could have been just me too. Like, this was stuff I learned along the way. As far as, I guess, like doing little businessy stuff, I learned along the way. But in the beginning, it was like a little struggle. Because I should have just probably had her, like, put a deposit on or whatever. So after that, she came back the next week saying she wanted a strawberry cake. And that's when I told her, I said, you're going to have to put a deposit down. You're going to have to pay that money up front. And I was like, you can Cash App or you could do whatever. And she was like, I only have cash. And I was like, okay, well, respectfully, you know, I made you a cake last week and you didn't want it. And I said to myself, luckily that cake, you know, it got gone. Because normally people just order the slices. Like normally people on Friday, that's the slices. And if someone did put in custom orders, then like I'm dropping them off as well. But nobody actually requested a strawberry cake. And then that week, I didn't have strawberry up there, period. Because I had strawberry last week. And that one was kind of like, it was there, but you know, there was still a couple slices left. Because people really love like my chocolate cake and all that other stuff. But anyway, I told her she got to pay that, you know, like up front. Like, I need to see it. And then she was just like, oh, I only have cash and I really want the cake this time. And I was like, I'm like, okay, that's fine. That is great. You know, whenever you're available to put the deposit down, that's when I'll make your cake. So I did not make her a cake for y'all because this was the second time of her doing this. And I'm like, I'm not going to do that again. Because literally the day of, like last time, she just said flat out she didn't want the cake no more. After I had already made it. So I'm just like, messing with her again? I'm like, I don't know. But y'all, she sent her deposit in at 11:30 p.m. And that's when I made on Thursday. And that's when I made her cake and it was ready for her Friday. But y'all, you're getting like a nice size cake for like $35 and I'm delivering it. Y'all, I was cutting myself short. And that's another thing why I stopped making cakes and stopped baking. Because I was making money, but I wasn't really making money in a sense. Like, yeah, I probably came out for extra, like maybe $150 every Friday. But it was kind of like, for how much work that was put in throughout the week, if you take that $150 and literally divide it by like 6 or 7, I'm literally making like $6 or $7 or so an hour, or maybe even $5 an hour. Cause I was putting like a lot of time. Like y'all, I had cakes on top of cakes on top of cakes on top of cakes. Frosting on top of frosting on top of frosting. So like by the time I did my little calculation for how much the frosting cost, how much the cake cost, how much the cake boxes cost, how much the cake little circle tray things for the cake to sit on, how much the little containers for the cake slices cost. Yeah, I came out for $150 at the end of the week. But Lord, that was like a lot. So I was just like, yeah. And then people was complaining about that because they were saying like $4.50 a slice was too expensive for them. And I'm like, you are getting a homemade sweet potato cake with a cream cheese icing, and that's $4.50 a slice and expensive. And I didn't have no little slices, y'all. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna be showing stuff all throughout this video of what I cooked, what I baked, like how everything looked. So I'm just like, it got to a point I felt like I was really trying to help everyone else out, or like, you know, I had it at $4.50, but really I should have been selling my cakes at about like $6. I should have. And whoever would have came to me, that's who would have came to me. But yeah, so that's just another reason why I stopped baking cakes and stuff like that, because people honestly didn't want to pay for them. And even now, I still have people ask me to bake. I will bake for my household, my family, my friends. I'll take a little orders here and there, but I'm not like posting it and making it public that I'm doing it, because people be wanting like a really nice cake for like $100 or $80. Like y'all, if y'all seen my video of what I ordered versus what I got for my birthday, that cake I would have honestly paid $130 for it, because I know what goes on with the baking and the decorating, especially decorating, because I didn't do all that decorating. But I could, but it was just like, Yeah. So I would have paid $120 or $30 for it, because if the work is there and if the work is working, I would have did it no problem. But yeah, people didn't want to pay for it. And I just kind of got to a point where I'm just like, all of this talent and nobody, it's like people want the product, but they don't want to pay the actual price. And I'm just like, I can't keep accommodating y'all and then you're not, you know what I'm saying? Or like y'all, I would have people, I would bake all these cakes and send out the list. I had like a list, y'all, in a whole group, couple group chats that I would send the list out. And then some people were like, oh, can I get strawberry? And I'm like, do you see strawberry on the list? If you don't see strawberry on the list, that means strawberry is not up there. So then people be like, well, I really want strawberry. I don't want no cake this week. And I'm like, that's fine. And they'll be like, but I really want strawberry. And I was like, okay, well, when I send the next newsletter out, you know, strawberry might be up there. And I'm just like, okay. So yeah, y'all, sometimes new customers, they just, and it could just be my area. Maybe it's just me. If it's just me, if you're a baker or, you know, you cook, you know, you do that type of stuff, let me know. If it's just me, then it's just me. But tell me your experiences. Let's go in the comment section. Let's talk about how sometimes customers can act. Let's talk about it and your prices and stuff and what you charge. I honestly want to know. I may get back to like doing like baking and like for real, like putting it out there again. I may do that, but I have to balance my work schedule and stuff again. And honestly, I like doing it for fun. I don't like putting that pressure on myself, because I do feel like it was a lot of pressure trying to get all these orders out. And yes. And y'all, one thing I could not stand, I had somebody, I don't have the message, y'all, but someone was like, $60 for a cake. The icing is $125 and the box of cake mix is only $1. Why are you charging $60 for a cake? That's too much. She was like, you're price gouging. And I was like, lady. I said to myself, I said, Sil said, I said, she really going in on me about $60 for a cake, but she wanted it. But I told her, she was like, I'll pay $35, but I'm not paying $60. I said, well, you can pay $35, but you're gonna have a smaller cake, because she wanted a cake like maybe the 12-inch. So not the, yeah, about a 12-inch and maybe like that thick. And this is about at least 4 to 5 inches, because she wanted like a good homemade like German chocolate cake. And I told her $60, because I was like, and she wanted like extra walnuts and like extra, no, not walnuts. She wanted extra pecans, because I say pecan. That's just how I say it. But she wanted extra pecans and extra coconut and just all this extra fudgy chocolate. And I was like, okay, well, that's fine. You can get your extra fudge and all the extra fudge and chocolate and nuts. Get all the nuts you want, baby. But you're going to pay $60 for it. Because I know, and stuff was cheaper back then, but y'all, like a bag of like walnuts or a bag of pecans is like $13 for like a small bag, like that. Like, anyway, it's expensive for your nuts and stuff, unless you're getting them like maybe from BJ's or Sam's Club, Costco, something like that. But y'all, she was really mad at the fact that I did not sell her the cake for $35. And she was like, it's only cost you. I said, well, if it costs that much, you make it. I said to myself, I said, well, you make it. Like, if you feel like you can make a better cake for a cheaper price, then you do it. But when you're going to someone and asking them for their services, you can't get mad at the price that they tell you for their services, especially if their work backs it up. If they work back it up, what you talking about? Here, give the money. Boom. Take it. So yeah, y'all, she kept going with me back and forth. She was like, I want the cake for $35. And I was like I stated in the message prior, the message above, I can sell you a cake for $35, but it will be a small cake. And y'all, she kept going, and I left it at that, because I'm like, I'm not about to keep arguing with you, because you're literally trying to talk me from $60 to $35 when I know it's going to cost me at least $35 just to get everything for your cake. I should be charging you $70 for this cake, but I'm trying to work with you. So yeah, y'all. That just sums it up why I stopped baking. Like I said, I still bake at the house. I still bake for fun. I still bake for certain people, like certain people in my circle. I let y'all. I still bake for them. But like, as far as the public, we'll see. We'll see. But yeah. But anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Your girl's gonna be coming with lots of videos, lots of different content. We're going to kind of be like, you know, experiencing and traveling, doing different things. So the channel's direction might be going this way. It may go that way. Then it just may go a little like that. But, you know, stay with me around the journey. Stay with me on this journey. And let's just see where we're going to be at, okay? Until next time, darlings, you already know what to do. Mind your business and tend to your own business. Mind and tend to the business that pays you. And if it does not pay you, boo, then you definitely need to be minding your own business, okay? Bye.
Because we care.
I can't believe it.
Oh, Mike.
I was on TV.